In the late 19th century, Sigmund Freud was able to change people's perception of psychology with his revolutionary theory of psychoanalysis. According to Freud's theory, there are numerous conscious and unconscious factors that can influence behaviors and emotions. Freud's revolution can be seen as the discovery of method for locating objective entities in the mind that can be studied like physical things. What is psychoanalysis? It is a method of treating mental disorders based in psychoanalytic theory that emphasizes unconscious mental processes and is sometimes referred to depth psychology. It is originated from the clinical observation and formulation of the Austrian psychiatrist Sigmund Freud, who coined the term psychoanalysis. During treatment session, the patient is encouraged to speak freely about personal experiences, particularly those from childhood and dreams.
His work and writings contributed to our understanding of personality, clinical psychology, human development, and abnormal psychology. Freud contributed to personality psychology by explaining how the right balance between something called the ID, ego, and superego can lead to a healthy personality. An imbalance between the three will only lead to maladaptive personalities. But what are the ID, ego, and superego? Well, simply put, the ID is the psychic manifestation that drive us to reduce our pain at all costs without deference to reason. For example, a newborn will cry when he is hungry. The newborn will not reason if he should or should not cry, or if he can wait to eat until mom is ready.
Freudian Revolution relate to the ideas of Sigmund Freud about how people hidden thoughts and feelings influence their behavior. Neurotic psychopathic states, the interpretation of dreams, etc. It also treatment the patient with mental health problems. So what we could be the benefits of Freudian revolution of Sigmund Freud? Increasing self-esteem, developing the ability to have more satisfying relationship, increasing confidence, personal ability, increasing understanding of self and others, recognition and toleration of a wider range of emotion, gradually becoming more able to face issues and difficulties.
Cons. Number 1. Freud's theory overemphasized the unconscious mind, sex, aggression, and childhood experiences. Number 2. This theory is difficult to access the accuracy on a wide variety of patients, as every person is different and deals with problems differently. Number 3. Most of Freud's findings were based off of case studies and clinical observations. Number 4. Most based on contacts with women, adult patients, and may have biased them toward expressing ideas that confirm his view.
First of all, who is Charles Darwin? He is English naturalist, geologist, and biologist. The Darwinian revolution introduced Charles Darwin's idea of natural selection, which show how the process wherein organisms better adapted to their environment and to survive and produce more offspring. For his part, Darwin current evidence pointing the what of the know as natural selection and evolutionary process which organisms, including humans, inherit, development, and adapt traits that favor survival and reproduction.
The theory of evolution also describes how organisms change over time as a result of changes in physical and behavioral traits. And to summarize the Darwinian revolution, evolution occurs when the organism possesses desirable traits or those with the best characteristic will be more likely to survive in a given environment or situation, while those who do not have desirable traits will be passed to their offspring or are subjected to extinction.
Darwin's contribution. Charles Darwin is known as the father of evolution due to his contribution to the establishment of the theory of evolution. He developed a scientific theory of biological evolution that explains how modern organisms evolved over a long period of time through descent from common ancestors. This theory helped removing all the conventional old beliefs which said that the formation of various species was a supernatural phenomenon or act of the Almighty. In addition, with his discovery natural selection, the origin and adaptation of organisms were brought into the realm of science.
In the general, the concept of Darwinism has many pros, such as weeding out weakness and disease, supporting the strong and encouraging the development of a more advanced society. It also has many disadvantages, however, such as a smaller gene pool, hindering the weak and controlling who gets to have a children.
What is Copernican revolution? Copernican revolution is one of the most known revolutions that shaped our humanity. Copernican revolution shifted in the field of astronomy from a geocentric understanding of the universe, centered around Earth, to the heliocentric understanding centered around the Sun, as articulated by the Polish astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus in the 16th century.
Copernican revolution impacts on society. The Copernican revolution fundamentally changed the way we think about our place in the universe. In antiquity, people believed the Earth was the center of the solar system and the universe, whereas now we know we are just one of many planets orbiting the Sun. The Copernican revolution gave us an important framework for understanding the universe, and it changed the role of astronomy in society. The Copernican revolution impacted society because it showed that long-held beliefs could be inaccurate. It promoted curiosity and scientific inquiry. This had the effect of weakening the influence of religious and political institutions.
Copernicus recognized more profoundly than anyone else the advantages of a sun-centered planetary system. By adopting the view that Earth circled the Sun, he could qualitatively explain the to and fro wandering of the planets much more simply than Ptolemy. So, based on my discussions, there are two types of phases. What are the two types of phases? The first being extremely mathematical in nature, and the second phase starting 1610 with the publication of a pamphlet by Galileo.
Copernican revolution shift in the field of astronomy from geocentric understanding of the universe centered around the Earth to a heliocentric understanding centered around the Sun, as articulated by the Polish astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus. In the 16th century, Copernicus removed Earth from the center of the universe, set the heavenly bodies in the rotation around the Sun, and introduced Earth's daily rotation on its axis. Anthropological consequences of the Copernican revolution are manifest. Man was dethroned and banished from his privileged position at the heart of the cosmos, to find himself flung into an unknown corner of the universe, on an Earth considered as merely another. When Copernicus replaced the Earth with the Sun at the center of the universe, changed the role of astronomy in the society.